Welcome back to the catch up here on Cris Cyborg's YouTube channel. I am James Lynch. That is not Cris Cyborg. That is undefeated Bellator prospect Dalton Rosta, who's going to be taking on Romero Cotton at Bellator 283, July 22nd. Dalton, how are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing awesome. Looks like you just got back from a workout. Is that right? Where am I getting you this morning?
No, actually today's my rest day. I take a midweek rest day, recover, get ready for the rest of the week.
Well, what does that look like? Every fighter's got a different rest day, whether it's, getting in maybe a long overdue nap or a video game or something. What do you like doing on your rest days?
So, I mean, I start off, I sleep in a little bit. I sleep until about like 9:15. And then today I'm going to try and get in a massage done. I'm going to try and get some cryotherapy along with infrared sauna or an ice bath. Something I've been doing in the recent weeks is hyperbaric oxygen therapy. It's like you're inside of a tube, it's pressurized, and you're breathing in 100% pure oxygen, so it's supposed to speed up recovery. I've been getting a lot of IVs and stuff done, so I'm on top of my recovery, making sure I'm ready to go for the rest of the week.
That sounds really high tech. Do you feel kind of like Drago in the Rocky movies where they have like the latest technology to like get him ready for his fight?
Close. Theirs was a little bit more advanced, even in the movie for how old it was, but
yeah.
Close.
Yeah, for sure. Well, mind you, that was in the 80s, and he was also a Russian fighter, so a little bit different, but you kind of get what I'm saying there. Big fight, man. I'm really excited for this one. You're taking on a fellow undefeated prospect. Just how excited were you when you found out this matchup was coming together?
I mean, honestly, I wasn't very excited because we were supposed to fight 3 times before, and he pulled out all 3 times. The first time we were supposed to fight was supposed to be September of 2020, and instead of pulling out, he asked for it to be pushed back. So he asked for it to be pushed back to October, and then they said October 15th, and he was like, no, I still won't be ready. So he asked for October 29th. So we pushed it back to October 29th. 3 weeks before he pulls out, I get Ty Gorder, a southpaw striker, where I was fighting an orthodox wrestler. So I'm training all camp long for an orthodox wrestler, and then 3 weeks left of the camp, I have to reprogram everything I was doing. We were game planning, everything we were doing pad wise, grappling wise, sparring wise was all geared towards a orthodox wrestler, and then you have to unwire and unprogram all of that and then reprogram it 3 weeks before. Then we were supposed to fight just in January 29th. About 3 weeks before, again, he pulled out, and I ended up getting Dwayne Johnson, who was also a southpaw striker. So kind of same situation where I had to reprogram essentially my game plan. So I was doing everything a specific way. And when any fighter knows this, whenever you're in camp and you're doing something over and over and over again, the more repetitions you do, the more like second nature it becomes. So then you're specifically focusing on somebody all camp long, and then 3 weeks before, yeah, you have an advantage where you were getting ready for a fight. You knew you were fighting, but in the same sense, you're kind of at a disadvantage because your opponent's starting fresh with a new game plan, and you have to like kind of deprogram and then reprogram your game plan again. So I'm just hoping the same thing doesn't happen this time. We're about 4.5 weeks out right now. So I'm hoping, he sticks it out. Whatever happens to where he was pulling out beforehand doesn't happen this time. If it does, he can, get through it, and hopefully we can get this fight made.
That's crazy. Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, I do it's refreshing my memory that you guys were supposed to fight. Is there have you told Bellator, like, hey, get someone on standby in case this doesn't happen? Because it just seems like there's a lot of bad luck here.
Yeah, I would like to, but, I don't want to be in bad standing with Bellator or trying to kind of tell them what they should be doing. So
I see.
I'm going to let them take care of it. And I'm guessing based on the history, based on the past, that they're going to have somebody in mind, at least, that they don't have like, on paper, but they're thinking, all right, well, this is going to be the replacement if something goes wrong. Because, if his three times is the charm, I figured that we were going to fight the 3rd time. This is the 4th, so maybe 4th time's the charm. If not, maybe I have another replacement. So we'll see.
This fight's in Tacoma, Washington. Have you ever been to Washington State before?
No, I have not. This is going to be my first time.
That's cool. Well, it rains a lot and there's some nice mountains. Not quite as good of weather as what you're getting down there in Florida, but still a really nice area for sure. And let's talk about the style matchup here. Like I mentioned, he's got 6 fights, known for his wrestling. How are you looking at this fight from a style perspective?
You know, MMA is, you know, it's exactly what it is. It's mixed martial arts. So I think people that are so invested in one aspect of the fighting and so good somewhere, or so reliant, I should say, in one department, they really start lacking in others. And I think it showed on his film where he's not very comfortable striking. You know, he gets knocked off balance a lot. His footwork isn't there. He's reaching for a lot of stuff, reaching for kicks, you know, just desperately trying to get the takedown. He reaches for body kicks, head kicks, leg kicks, everything. He's putting himself in danger. And his opponents, you know, some of them had the striking capability, but they had absolutely no takedown defense, no wrestling, no grappling. You know, I'm the opposite. I can strike and I can wrestle. I've showed it time and time again. And obviously, he's never fought anybody that can wrestle as well as I can. I'm going to be able to wrestle with him. I'm going to be able to scramble with him. And in my belief, I'll get to show it come fight night, July 22nd. But I believe I'm the better wrestler as well. But once again, I'm circling back to the point where this is mixed martial arts. You know, it's not the same as wrestling just on a wrestling mat, even though I believe I can beat him. It's MMA wrestling. It's different. You're using your strikes and you're using timing and different things to set up your takedowns. He likes to launch an overhand right and then dive in on a takedown. He likes to panic shoot where he has his back pressed up against the cage and then he starts shooting as soon as he gets uncomfortable. And from what I've seen, he's been very easy to pressure in his past fights. And I'm a pressure fighter. You know, I'm always walking forward. So I think it's going to be more of that, but in the sense that he's not going to be able to land the panic takedowns that he did before, you know, and I'm not going to be carelessly throwing knees or head kicks. They're going to be set up, you know, they're going to be when he's not expecting them. They're going to be whenever he's not seeing them coming, and they're not going to be thrown carelessly. You know what I mean? Because even against a bad wrestler, you know, you throw a bad knee, you put yourself in a bad position, you get overextended, you can get taken down. Even against, like, if I'm fighting a striker, I'm a better wrestler than 99% of most strikers. You know what I mean? If I get in bad position, I can get taken down. You know, same goes for him. And I'm not treating this any different than any other of my fights. I'm taking him seriously. I know I've said what I've said about him, and I still feel it's true. But I'm still taking him seriously because this is MMA. Anything could happen. So I'm approaching this fight just like any other fight. I'm going to take him seriously, and I'm training my butt off day in and day out, and it's going to show on fight night.
Training partners, you're at one of the best gyms in the world. Who've been some of the main guys so far that you've been working with leading into this fight? We got about 4 weeks until the fight, actually, the time we're recording this.
So, I mean, we got plenty of wrestlers there. We wrestle on Mondays. We got Dagestani guys. We got Johnny Eblin, who's fighting for the title coming up. We got Austin Vanderford, who just fought for the title. Both very good wrestlers. Austin, national champion. Johnny, D1 All-American or national qualifier. Josh Silvera, who also wrestled D1, Gleason Tebow, who has the second most takedowns in all of UFC history behind Khabib. I mean, the wrestlers are there, you know what I mean? And even if they weren't there, it wouldn't be a problem. This is something I've been doing my entire life, you know? I'm fighting a 3-time NCAA champion wrestler. I don't have the accolades, but that's the type of wrestler if you ask anybody that's ever wrestled with me, if you see me wrestle against any of these high-level wrestlers, that's the type of wrestler I am. You know what I mean? I'm that level. I just don't have the accolades because of, you know, shit happens. In MMA, if you get hurt, you can push the fight back. You know what I mean? In wrestling, there's a season. So if you get hurt January and postseason's February, you know, and you can't wrestle, you're effed. So that's kind of been the story of my wrestling career, where I pushed myself so hard and I really didn't know about tapering and taking care of my body as much as I do now. And injuries plagued me throughout my entire wrestling career, and it eventually led to me switching over to football in college. So I'm not sitting here trying to be a has-been or trying to say that like shoulda, coulda, woulda, but I'm just going to say that I'm that level of wrestler, and I'm going to prove it come fight night. So anybody who's doubting me is going to be proved otherwise.
Love it, man. On that same note, who's going to be in your corner for this fight? Do you know that yet?
Anderson, Franca, and Mike Brown as of now. We'll see about the third corner, but I mean, they're in my corner for every fight. So
How's this fight playing out on July 22nd?
How is it playing out?
Yeah, what's your prediction? How do you see it unfolding?
I'm going to be bold here. I usually make bold predictions, but my last 3 fights have been decisions. I need a finish here, not just for my standing in Bellator, but for me. You know what I mean? My whole entire amateur career, all finishes. First 3 fights, all finishes. I feel like my past 3 fights, I've stepped off the gas a little bit. Worried about my gas tank, worried about putting on a show. Trying to show more of my striking because there was doubt there. There was doubt about my gas tank, and just being more cautious. This fight, I'm going to go out there, and I don't want to say I'm going to go for broke because I'm going to be smart. I'm going to be technical. I have a game plan drawn. I'm going to follow the game plan, but you're going to see a more aggressive Dalton Rosta than you have in my past 3 fights. You're going to see me return to, at least in the aggressive sense and the finishing aspect, to what it was before my first 3 fights in my amateur career. And I truly believe I'm going to finish him in the first round if he's resilient enough, second round at the latest. But I truly see this being a first round finish. Me putting pressure on him panicking, him taking a couple shots, me stuffing him. Then after that, any wrestler knows how tired they get after failing takedown after takedown and takedown. And the next thing you know, they get in their own head. I'm going to get in his head. He's going to start taking panic shots. I'm going to catch him with something, and it's going to be lights out.
How soon are we going to be talking about a title shot for you if you do get a win here, especially a finish like you're predicting, a first round finish?
The timeline, I'm not so much worried about the timeline. I think it's in the near future, but so I don't want to put a time period on it, but I want a few more fights. I want this fight. Then I was asking for John Salter before this, before I got called or before I got Cotton. So, I mean, that's what I want next. And if I can get that next, cool. And then maybe after that, one more fight and a title fight. I want to get some more cage experience. I have the experience. I fought as an amateur. I fought as a pro. But, I really want to find who I am as a fighter. I have a good gist of it, but I'm still working on new things in the gym. Some days I go in there and have bad days. I make mistakes just like most fighters do. But I want a few more fights to iron those things out and kind of find exactly who I am as a fighter, because I can do it all, but I want more time to, work on those things. So,
yeah. No, for sure. Slow and steady wins the race, as they say, right? So definitely don't need to rush things. Before we go, downtime, I know you don't get much of it. We talked about your recovery day, getting into any Netflix, you watching any sports. What would I find you doing when you get that little bit of free time?
So as of now, whenever I'm getting free time, I'm laying by the pool, I'm doing all the recovery stuff that I told you, but, barring that, I mean, I'm probably doing, like right now, I was just playing God of War, the video game.
Go. That's what I'm looking for. I knew there was some video game time in there. There had to be, right? You need that escape.
I usually play Fortnite. I usually play Call of Duty, Halo, I PlayStation and Xbox both. But God of War just recently came free to PlayStation Plus, so I downloaded, gave it a try, and I'm pretty addicted to it. So I've been playing it nonstop for the past few days. Anytime I get downtime, if I have a couple hours in between practice, whatever. I mean, that's usually whatever I'm doing. But I lay by the pool as well. If I'm watching Netflix, I've been watching Ozark recently. I watched The Flash on the CW app. I think that's about it. During camp, I don't do much other than that because I don't want to get hurt playing basketball or playing any pickup sports or doing anything like that. You know what I mean? So besides that, really nothing. This past weekend, I went to Key West with my girlfriend, and we spent a little bit of time down there just for the weekend, Saturday after training and Sunday. So that's about it.
Cool. We're looking forward to it, man. Bellator 283, July 22nd. If there's anyone you want to thank, man, any sponsors, any social media you want to plug, I'll give you the last word.
I mean, I want to thank my gym, my coaches, American Top Team, Anderson Frank, and Mike Brown for always putting work into me. Areas agencies, Armina Stone, RJ Steele, Lauren Ferrone and Auto, and Scooter King. So those are my main sponsors. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is Dalton Rosta. Same thing with my Twitter.